Alrighty, hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you guys have all been having a fantastic day. Big news of the day is Nvidia is blockbuster again, and that may actually help the cryptocurrency markets. We're going to have to take a few days to see if this is working out, but if you guys have been looking for a nugget of hope, I think you have it, because the technicals sure aren't giving you any hope right now. At least Nvidia can give you a little bit of a hope. So before I get started here, here's one of Loki's treats that he likes. I am standing up still, so you guys have to kind of watch him go around, because he's going to try to jump up here, which he's not allowed to do. Yeah. But around up. And now you guys can see him in all of his glory. And hey man, happy to see you, Double O Wolf. See, he doesn't look at me like that. He looks at treats like this. And there he goes. Alrighty, so happy to see all of you guys again. We got some good news for today. I am extremely tired because I went to the gym this morning and demolished my poor little biceps, which I have not worked out heavily in weeks. But Nvidia, all really good things here. I'm still kind of pessimistic on the market, but I'm just happy we have something happy to talk about. So I'll take that as a win. And hey, Jane, happy to see you. So let's get started here. This is the big O news here. You can see on the breaking news on the top, stock futures higher as Nvidia's strong forecast reignites the AI trade. Absolutely amazing. So let me just read the key points here, because I don't think we have to go through this entire article because it is quite a bit, but revenue continues to get higher and higher, and this is a blockbuster. When you can see that massive jump that occurred, that is exactly what the market needed to see. And this kind of keeps the stock market afloat for a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. And I think that's kind of what we're looking for here. But as far as the key points, Nvidia reported fiscal third quarter earnings on Wednesday that topped Wall Street expectations for sales and earnings, and provided stronger than expected guidance for the fourth quarter sales. CEO Jensen Huang said sales for Nvidia's current generation GPU called Blackwell are off the charts. Nvidia said it expects around $65 billion in sales in the current quarter versus the $143 in earnings per share on $61.66 billion of revenue expected by analysts. So they're very bullish on themselves. The market seems to believe them because they've been so bullish for so long. This is absolutely fantastic. And then what we've been seeing here is actually AI stocks across the board coming up a little bit. Now, my after hours is just up a teeny bit. You guys know I'm not invested in Nvidia, anything like that. I'm investing in the low market cap stuff. But what I'm gonna do, I believe next week, is I'm going to double down into some of these AI tokens here and start picking the ones that I think are going to be performing a little bit better. I may buy a little bit more into the OSS because it's only 475, a little bit of the Very because it's 422, and maybe two more Big Bear AI. But I'm going to start moving stuff around bit by bit. Because of the AI trade, you can see right now Big Bear AI, it's up 4% after hours, but down 3% today. So nothing too crazy there. Stuff like an AMBA though, that's up 5% today, plus 2% after hours. I like that. I'm still negative on this, by the way, but I'm happy to see we're going in the right direction, and that's ultimately some good news. On the other end of things here, the BLS says the full October jobs data report won't be released. Available figures to be included in the next report. So there's no standalone release coming. It's going to be included with the next one, I guess, that we're getting here pretty soon. So that'll be interesting. I don't like not having data, because I believe not having data gives the Fed an excuse of saying, hey, we don't need to cut rates. When if you guys have been looking at the jobs numbers for the past year or so, you guys know the economy is not in good shape. You guys know jobs are going down, and the Fed is looking for an excuse to say, hey, inflation's high, but the jobs market is okay. The jobs market's not okay. They'll figure that out, but are they going to figure it out before the damage is done, or are they going to figure it out sooner rather than later? Little bit of an issue coming up here. And hey, Digital K, Andrew, happy to see both of you guys in here today. I'm doing wonderful. I went to the gym today. My arms are freaking sore. I bought myself a new JBL speaker here. Freaking awesome little thing here. I went to the pawn shop. I haven't been to a pawn shop in years, but I've been hanging out with a friend. I met a friend at the bar, and she said she worked at a pawn shop, and I was like, oh, okay, pawn shop. I haven't been to a pawn shop in a while. Freaking brand new, look, checked it out, all that type of stuff. Absolutely amazing. I think they go for like 170 bucks or something like that. Got it for like 50 bucks because I know her pretty well. So awesome, right? So I'm in a good mood. And I'm also about to start saving money here because I've decided my next car is going to be a Chevy Tahoe and I'm gonna buy that, and that should be pretty interesting. So I'm gonna wait on that one. That's next year thing, because next year I'm gonna get myself a hot tub. I'm gonna open up, you guys can't see here, but there's a window. I'm gonna get that all taken down. I'm gonna have a sliding door place with a little patio with concrete outside, so I can have a hot tub, little table to smoke my cigars without smelling up the house, of course. An easy way for Loki to get outside and inside the house without me having to open the door and everything for him. He's hopping up right now. Here, you wanna get up on this thing? Here, you wanna get up? Look up. No, not me. Up on the chair. Look up. I was gonna see if he can get on the chair to say hi to you guys, but I don't know if he's able to do so. Look up. Nope, he's trying to hop on the desk. But I guess that's one way to do it, right? But I'm doing pretty well. I've been kind of tired the last few days, and I've been very dehydrated, it turns out. So since I've been so dehydrated, I haven't had that much energy. Yesterday I was like running on gas, running on an empty tank. Now chugging a bunch of water here. I just feel a lot better right now. All right, now, no jobs report. That'll be interesting. The Fed minutes showed a divide over the October rate cut and cast doubt about December. Right now, if we were to go over here and do the CME group, it's no bueno, right? 67% chance right there. Maybe go to probabilities. 67% chance we have no cut. That sucks. That really does suck. A while ago, we were up at the 90% range, I believe, and now we're all the way down to 33% chance of having a cut. I don't like that. I do believe for Bitcoin to start getting bullish for a larger stretch of time, we're going to need to have something more of a rate cut or money printers turning back on. You guys have seen Bitcoin's chart. We'll talk about this maybe a little bit later if you guys want to. You guys know when the money printer turns on, Bitcoin usually starts to go up and we start to have some really good moves going forward. But it can just take a little bit of time. But yeah, we're not looking like a rate cut this year, which is horrible because the Fed should do it, and I'm terrified about how bad the economy is going to do if they keep on messing this up here. But if when Jerome Powell is gone, I hope they can put somebody that's just a little bit more forward thinking, a little bit less backward thinking in the office, and I think we're going to be doing much better. All right, now Dow futures is up, S&P is up, NASDAQ is up. We should have a very good day in the market tomorrow. If you go and look at everything else besides Nvidia, Block tops 9% on gross profit forecast. Palo Alto tops earnings expectations. We were talking about the jobs reports. Elon Musk's xAI will be the first customer for Nvidia-backed data center in Saudi Arabia. Maybe it can be solar paneled, like, solar powered or something like that. But yeah, crazy stuff happening. Trump says he'd love to fire Powell. He's not going to. He already tried. It's just not going to work out in his benefit here. And Meta chief AI scientist Jan LeCun is leaving to create his own startup. That could be pretty interesting as well. It's just going to be private, so I'm not going to really buy into it. But you can see right here, Block is up. That's another good company right there. MicroStrategy is down 10% today. A lot of pain right there. Even DoorDash is down a little bit there. Now, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, like I said before, we're still not bullish. We're still bearish. If you go across all of the momentum on the charts here, I'm not even going to say too much about it. Bearish, 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 bearish. I think we're getting closer to being done with this flush here. That's for sure. But right now, before I even want to do any type of big trading, I might just wait for the daily charts to turn bearish before I start getting a little bit more aggressive with this type of buying opportunity. The 4-hour chart, we've been bullish a few times so far, and it hasn't amounted to anything. So don't pay attention to the 4-hour charts right now. We have a little bit of momentum coming along, but it's not much because the daily momentum and the weekly momentum is just so bad. Just wait, let's just try to see if we can wait a little bit for some of these stochastics and RSIs to go a little bit more bullish. That'll give us an opportunity. Now, the last time it happened, it didn't work out. That kind of sucked for us. But the last few times before that, it worked out. So I'm going to wait for both of these to cross over, I think, before buying one more time. But I'd love to see just a little bit more support right now, because that support level we're looking at for the moment is around $89,000. Nothing crazy, nothing terrible, but I mean, who wants to be at $89,000? My concern is that over the next few days, we flush down below that even further, and we have some type of capitulation that takes us closer to like $83,000, $84,000, and then Bitcoin were to do a large reversal where everybody starts to get more excited, buy back in. And while that's good if you guys want to trade Bitcoin, you guys want to trade Ethereum, you go over to like Shiba Inu and stuff like that, go to the weekly charts or even the monthly charts. you know, a lot of these tokens are kind of just done. Nothing crazy is happening. Pepe's falling off a cliff right now. Floki's falling off a cliff. Milady's falling off a cliff. ADA's falling off a cliff. AMP, Ape, Arbitrum. There are so many tokens where at this point you can buy them and trade them, but I'd rather just do a leverage swing trade on an altcoin I trust a lot more rather than doing a spot trade with a higher risk asset that I just can see is falling down more and more and more and more and more. There may be some opportunities where you can buy some if you really believe in it, but it's gonna have to have some type of business model. And like maybe the top of my list right now for something like that would be World Token. It's falling off a cliff, but I know for a fact they're hiring people. I know for the fact they're gonna survive this bear market, however long it lasts. That's something I'd buy. How much of it? Not much. Maybe a few $100 worth, maybe $1,000 worth, you know, if I really want to feel passionate about it. But honestly, a few $100 is going to be just fine. And hey, GT, happy to see my man. We need more positivity right now. Everyone is too wishy-washy. Well, it kind of depends. I had made a video about this earlier today. I'm kind of switching up some content there because I kind of ran out of ideas for my tutorials. One of the things I was talking about today in my video was the fact, oh yeah, and we're also bouncing off of the 20-month moving average, in case you guys didn't notice that. So I'm hoping we can hold here if you guys want to be a little bit more aggressive. We'll see, because we might dip down below it but close above it on the monthly. So volatility, what we saw over the past few days, and I think there's like two camps here. You got the Benjamin Cohen camp, which is much more of a bearish mentality, like, hey, we may have a rise back up to the 200 daily moving average, but it looks like we might have peaked by now. It looks like we might have hit a top, right? And I can understand that. I'm starting to agree more with Benjamin Cohen. Then you got your George, your Crypto Russ, and he's much more like, hey, this is just a dip. The rally's still on. Everything is still fine. It's a little bit shaky. I'm a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm still optimistic about what's happening, right? Those are the two different views. For me, you guys already know my thoughts. I've already started to do actions. Like a few weeks ago now, that was a couple weeks ago now, some of that, hey, I'm selling 25% of my altcoins, or half my altcoins, excuse me. I ain't dealing with this bullshit. Like yesterday, sold some more altcoins off. I ain't dealing with no more of this bullshit. I got 25% of my altcoins left. Let's see where they go. Let's see where they go. Sold some Bitcoin off, sold some Ethereum off, some Solana, the high market caps for the first time in a minute here. That was interesting. You know, and I'm just pulling back a little bit. I want to take it. You know, I bought a lot of stuff in 2022. I need to take those profits. So we'll keep track of it. But at this point, I don't know fundamentally what changes in order to give us another big boost. You know, one of the things I do agree with Benjamin Cohen on, and I guess different people have their own opinions about this, because there's like liquidity cycles versus election years versus whatever. When you look to see what's been happening through the midterm years, you know, Bitcoin is usually not doing so hot, right? Bitcoin is usually not great. You know, heading into 2027, that's going to be a midterm year right here, or it's going to be 2026. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. 2026, we could be looking at a little bit of a nastier move. Back over here, we had the 2020 election. 2022 rolled around, midterm year, that did not perform well, obviously. Back over here, 2018, a midterm year, that one did not do too well over there. Back in 2016, you know, that was the presidential year, that one was fine. Back over here, 2018, nope, not good. And I always wonder if this is just because of how the government pumps money that has to stop. So if you think what happens when like Trump was elected, or Biden was elected, or Obama was elected, or Bush was elected, we put him into office, right? Whether we vote for him or not, we put him into office. They enact some big spending package. So there's a bunch of money being processed, like again, 2017, a lot of money going into the system, right? And then even 2020, after the election over here, right? A lot of money going through the system here. Not even, because Trump was still president technically until over here. Now we got a little bit of a juice up thing, yeah, I guess, right? But I wonder if the system is just adapting to that, to the point where once they inject so much money into the system, the Fed steps back a little bit. And when the Fed steps back, that's typically where we see these nice pullbacks. But again, let me just draw these lines for you. 2022, right? This was the election year here. Not election year, excuse me. I keep on saying it because there's elections. Midterm year, midterm election years. Why does it keep not doing that? There we go. Right. Am I missing a year? 2022, 2018 to 2020. Oh, see, I'm thinking of 2 years. Yeah, okay, there you go. 2018, 2016. No. I feel like I'm missing something. May 2020. No, every 2 years. Man, my math is just off right now. Yeah, every 2 years. I don't think we can go back even further than that. You know, 15 wasn't 1, it was 14. Yeah. Well, see, December 14, yeah, that was down a little bit, but yeah. But so you see something similar. So if we were to do the same type of thing here, you know, that could be a little bit more of a disaster for us. I will say back over here, at least we bumped up a little bit before eventually coming back down. But what did we see during those times? We saw that we had some death crosses here on the weekly charts, right? A lot of influencers will use just the 50-week moving average and say if we close below it, then it's all over. I like the death cross, even though it takes a little bit longer period of time. I just like to have that certainty because, sure, we've broken down it below here. Broke through it here, but we also broke through it right here, came right back up, also broke through it right there. So I don't like using the 50 like that, because if you were to like use the 50 right here, when everybody was saying it back in 2021, you would have sold right here and not had an opportunity to see that bounce. Now, was this kind of a weird time? Yes, obviously. But during that same point, you did see the stochastic and the RSI bottoming out a little bit, so you saw a little bit of a hidden divergence there. Not a lot, but a teeny bit of a hidden divergence. I think at that point, though, we were all just terrified because of how fast Bitcoin had gone up. We did not go fast like that this time. This was just an ugly, ugly chart, which is why I think when people zoom out on this sucker and like go to the monthly chart, and they go over here, turn the log off, they're like, oh, yeah, that was a pretty wild ride, wasn't it? Crazy moves up here, big O drops, crazy moves, big drops, crazy moves, big drop. You know, at the end of the day, though, if we were to add in the 150 week moving average, you know, give it some time. You know, there's no rush to wait for it to get down below that. Once it does, I'll be happy to buy some up, but it's still going to take a minute. What are we at? $91,000. This is currently at $65,000. I think by the time we hit it, it'll be in like the 70s or something like that. And then we might, of course, we're probably going to dip down below it temporarily, but that'll be the time to really start buying in there and having some fun. Until then, though, ooh, I can't say I'm still like excited or something about all this stuff going on. I'm what do they used to say? I'm nauseously optimistic. Nauseously optimistic. Go back over here to some like a 15-minute chart. There you go. As we try to bounce off support here. And hey, Villa, happy to see my man. In theory, we are still rallying. The FOMO is going to be legendary. I hope so. Right now, I've just started to allocate money away from cryptocurrency. I think we're still correcting from the October tariff dip. The fact that tariff rulings and Epstein files haven't been resolved is causing prolonged market uncertainty once it passes or rally continues. I do think it's interesting about the Epstein stuff. And when you were talking about the tariff rulings, everybody's still waiting to see what the Federal Reserve is going to do with those tariffs. I will also add, we just haven't had data from the shutdowns. We just haven't had the data at all to have a good idea. And the Fed is making a mistake, I believe, by not cutting next month. We'll see if they do, but if they don't, I think it will be a mistake. What's right here? I think we'll see a stimulus or some kind of thing. Trump knows he took things too far with tariffs, even though that would cause more inflation. See, I don't know if he's going to get that passed in the House or the Senate. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to pass. I don't think Democrats would support him, and I don't see there's enough votes for Republicans in order to get that done. He would have to peel off a few House members who are moderate, which is possible. I don't see how he gets Democrats in the Senate to vote. Democrats in the Senate, Republicans in the Senate, they're usually not as concerned about the livelihoods of the people in those states. They're more concerned with the states themselves. and senators usually are a little bit wealthier, so they're just like, they'll be fine. Those peasants will be fine. Whereas a House member, you know, when they're back in town, they may be shopping at your local Fred Meyer, Albertsons, whatever you guys shop, like a regular superstore. Most of them aren't going to be shopping in Whole Foods every day, all day, right? It's just a little bit different. But I don't know. I'm so pessimistic right now. I wish I was like, oh yeah, this is great. Yeah. Nope. Just not happy with this overall here. And you know, take a look at what's been happening over the last few weeks, right? Bitcoin over the last 30 days is down 17%. Last 60 days it's down 22%. Year to date it's down 2%. Last 90 days it's down 20% here. Ethereum, the last 60 days is down 33%. XRP is down 29, right? XRP is outperforming freaking Ethereum. Isn't that crazy? BNB is doing fine year to date, but if you look at the last 60 days, it's down around 14%. Solana the last 60 days is down 43% right here. 43%. That is insane right there. Now, Solana had a very good rally from 2022 to now, but I'm glad I was able to start scaling out of some of that stuff because, man, I mean, 43% is massive. That's the worst out of all the top 10 right now. That's even worse than Dogecoin, which is 43.03% for the last 60 days. Tron, which is down 20%. Tron, I don't have too much of a concern about because that thing is like still up year to date, but it usually does well even in a bear market. ADA is down almost 50%. Hyperliquid's down about 30. Zcash is doing fine. Bitcoin Cash is down 18. Chainlink is down 43. Chainlink, I don't know if this one's going to survive being in the top 20 or 30 here by the end of this cycle. But you can see there's obviously some bearishness here and people are not feeling that great. I believe if you go over here to crypto slate tokens, why can't I scroll on this side? There we go. So look at the sectors. Adult is down, advertising is fine, AI is down a little bit, right? Cannabis is down 6% today. Jobs is up 4.2%, not even sure what that is. Brain trust is up a teeny bit. Ideology is down. How is it up 4% if it's only at 0.88? Just not much good news there. It's not done yet. It'll be done pretty soon. It still looks kind of janky right now, but the crypto manual will be up and running, I think, in the next week and a half or so. Basically, it's going to be like a shell that's really quality with some AI stuff in the background for me. And then in my free time every day, I'm going to add like 5 or 6 different topics to the page. So by that I mean like glossary terms, like what is Bitcoin, what is Pepe coin, what is a moving average, what is a you know, all that type of stuff. Then on top of that, I'm going to try to do 2 to 3 articles a day for you guys with the help of AI. Please understand, I'm not going to be like doing that. But it'll be the topics I think are important. You guys will see more of that. And then I'll also do a review page where I have like affiliate links where like if you guys want to buy a Ledger Nano wallet and you want to support the channel, you can buy it there. If you guys are looking for my opinions on exchanges that are kind of more blunt and honest, you know, like I've worked with a bunch of exchanges over the years. Some I've liked, but they just haven't been as good, so I stopped promoting them. I can, you know, I'll be more blunt about that type of stuff. Or I guess if you guys have questions right now, I can be blunt, but just really depends. Like the one I did that I liked in the past, I don't like now. It was CoinW. Oh, piece of trash now. But what do you call? So a lot of stuff like that happening pretty soon. I'm super excited about that. And then I may have a blog post or something like that where I just say, hey everybody, maybe it's just a newsletter, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe a blog first and I just get newsletters sign up. So once I hit like a 500 newsletter sign up, something like that, I'll put it out there. I might as well just start it as soon as I can. But a newsletter talking about all of the big topics for the week. So it'll have the big news announcements, basically like, is there going to be a Supreme Court announcement on the horizon? Is there an earnings report coming out that's really big like Nvidia? Is there a jobs report coming out, something to that effect. So I have this whole list of stuff I'm going to be doing every week. This website should take about an hour and a half of my day every day once I get rolling here. So I'll let you guys know about that type of stuff here. For now, I think I'm not going to have any ads. I'll have affiliate links, but I'm not going to have any ads on the website. Probably until I get like 100,000 viewers a month, or clickers, uniques a month. Then I'll start putting them on there, because then I can use that money and just kind of keep on improving the website, honestly, because I'm not entirely sure. Like, I'm hoping there's a way for me to like not have to spend as much time on the website, but I feel like because it's new, because I want to get it jump started, all that type of stuff, I'm gonna like just throw myself into it, and I may even spend 4 or 5 hours on there if I don't have anything else to do. So we're gonna see. And then I hope next year this website's making me enough money where I can buy a used Chevy Tahoe. Maybe a 2019-2020 Chevy Tahoe. Could be really, really fun. We'll have to see. But nobody's really talking about Bitcoin right now for the most part. It's been kind of crazy here. Bitcoin 88,000, newbies, holders, traders. Ethereum will likely continue bleeding against Bitcoin until December, excuse me. I don't think next cycle I'm buying Ethereum. I think I'm doubling down into Solana or some other token. I haven't seen the returns for Ethereum this cycle, and I'm just not gonna really go back into it. Maybe I'll have a small amount, like I have some long-term holdings of Ethereum. Maybe I'll add like 2,000 to 3,000. Maybe I'll buy like 2 Ethereum or something like that. 1 Ethereum when things get really, really bad. 1 Ethereum, and then the rest I'll move in some Solana, some other tokens. I have been disappointed with how Ethereum has been performing over the last few years. Maybe some of you guys disagree, maybe some of you guys still love it, but the price action that I've seen has just not been great at all. I've just hated it. I mean, you know, I put a lot of money into Ethereum this past cycle, and you can see right back in 2022, 2025, all this stuff going on over the last few years. We've been in a lot of sideways action here. Go all the way back to 2022, right? And just so you have an idea of when I started to go heavy into Bitcoin and Ethereum, I started buying heavily back over here June of 2022. So right here, right? Dollar cost averaging, dollar cost averaging, dollar cost averaging. And at the end of all that, my average was probably something around like $1,500 or something like that. Now, from now, it's only been 100% profit. At the max, it was only 224% profit. I think that's horrible. I mean, that is just not what I was expecting from Ethereum. I am hoping that if I do get into Ethereum, it probably won't even be me buying a lot of this as spot. I may have to go into Tom Lee's little MicroStrategy wannabe company that kind of copies Ethereum, and then maybe I can make some money off of that. But this has just not been good. Instead, I put a little bit of money. I put a lot of money into Ethereum and a little bit of money in Solana. And again, the Solana, it made me thousands. Don't get me wrong. But again, May 2022, a little bit different, of course. There you go, right? Now, my average for this, I think it was, let's see, what is my average? I think it was like 26 bucks. Yeah, 26 bucks. All right. So that was not at the lows. I tell you that, not at the lows. But even now, instead of Ethereum only giving me a little bit, at least right now, I'm still up 426%. And I've been selling this just like my Bitcoin and stuff like that. So 800% over here, 700%. I got 1,000% over there. This was great, fantastic, ou l'amour, whatever you want to call it. Beautiful stuff. I think I'm going to be a little bit more hesitant to go all in, not even all in, but like more aggressive on Ethereum. Really, this cycle, extreme disappointment this cycle. We'll have to keep track of that though. Bitcoin dominance continues to come down here, getting pressured by the 20-week moving average here. US oil is coming back down a little bit. Dollar index is popping back up, which isn't that great. Russell's coming down, SPY is coming down, NASDAQ's down, and the Dow Jones is down. Hopefully we're just seeing a minor dip and then a bounce. We've seen this before, and maybe this comes into play like we saw last November, where we just kind of ended off the year kind of sideways. Then of course there was tariff talk, which kind of crazy, made things a little bit crazier, but we came back up afterwards. So I'm hoping we're just entering this like stagnation period for the stock market, where next year we kind of pop. And if you go back over here and see like midterm years and stuff like that, 2022 obviously pretty bad. Back over, there you go. 2018 also kind of bad. So I'm hoping it's not going to take forever. I'm hoping maybe AI changes the way the market works, but even the stock market isn't going to be having the best of times here. Hopefully we can kind of change that pattern, make it into something else. We'll have to see. We'll have to see for sure. And hey, GT, I understand the politics of it, but I think it'd be very easy for Democrats to go back around and say, hey, everybody, we know you need this money, but if we do it again, inflation is going to go sky high and we're going to be the responsible stewards. So I don't think it'll be the win that Trump wants it to be. I mean, I would like a stimulus check. I think everybody would enjoy a stimulus check here. I just don't know if it would happen or not, right? So I think it's worth them taking a shot, but I just don't know who would be eligible for all that type of stuff. Last time they were giving stimulus checks away to anybody, and that was crazy. Let's see. Would I re-enter or wait? I'm not entering in anything right now. I'm waiting. I'm just being patient. I already have assets that I bought way back over here. I'm selling them right now. A little bit more than I thought I was at this point in time. So the only way I'm buying back into Bitcoin is for swing trades right now. So let's say that things turn bullish across the oscillators, so maybe the stochastic and the RSI turn bullish. If both of these turn bullish, maybe I'll get a little bit more aggressive on the buying opportunity here. I think maybe if we actually hold support by maybe Saturday, Friday, that holds up pretty well, I'd be willing to do a buy and see if we can tap on that 20-day moving average or so. Besides that, if I want to do a swing trade, I'm going to wait for the momentum to shift here for a larger move. I think that'll be much more, much more lucrative here. Even if some of them don't work like that, we're not close to big resistance levels at this point in time, at least. And the next big resistance level that we kind of have to fight with would be all the way up here around 116,000. As long as the weekly charts turn over green and we're not at $116,000, I'm gonna buy that sucker. Because we haven't had the death cross yet, so there's still a bit of like, there's a glimmer of hope in my eyes that we can have a crazy rally and go a little bit higher. But right now I'm not expecting it. Right now I'm just like, okay, let's see what we can do. Dude, I swear Ethereum is the most manipulated coin. I legit think it's way undervalued. I think it's going to change next year. I hope so. I mean, again, I have long-term holdings of Ethereum, but as far as a cycle trade, it just didn't perform the way I wanted it to, so I'm not going to mess with it. The one thing I think, if you guys do hold Ethereum long-term, those staking platforms I think are a little bit more trustworthy this cycle than last cycle, so maybe people might be willing to do that type of stuff, but it's been okay. It's been okay. As far as like, making a profit if you guys are long-term holders, but just from cycle like 2022 to now, piece of crap. They talk about Bitcoin used for laundering, big boy meet Ethereum. Oh yeah. I mean, every time I hear people talking about fraud and stuff like that, I'm just like, you're just using it as an excuse because you don't like Bitcoin, or you're losing market share to cryptocurrencies and you're trying to get people to not use it or slow down your losses a little bit more, right? When people talk about that, I'm like, I don't really believe what you're selling right there. Has anyone thought of the damage that will be caused if the altcoin season doesn't come? No, because usually, I mean, it depends on like, what do you mean anyone? I mean, it depends on who, anyone. Like, I know I lost money. I'll have to live with it. I know that people lost money. But if the altcoin season doesn't come, people will have made money, just not the everyday folks, right? The people that made the tokens are going to make the money. But no, like if you ask a politician, they don't care. if you bought a meme coin, it's like buying GameStop or AMC in their eyes. And it's kind of true, right? That's why I've been rotating over to the stocks over the last few weeks. Remember we talked about the AI stock portfolio that I made? I'm going to double down into that tomorrow, or maybe the day after tomorrow. I'm kind of waiting to see, because I think my portfolio is down around 7-8% over the last week since I bought it. Excuse me. Oh. Yeah, it's down about oh no, this is umbrella. It's down about 4.5%, 4.39% since I bought all this stuff. So it's coming back up a little bit right now. But today, you know, Big Bear was up 3, Soundhound was up 7, Very was up 2, Amba's up 7, Simo's only up 0.3, Tim's up 7, right? So there's some good stuff happening here, but Canon, OSS, those are down a little bit. Soundhound is having a good day, and that basically happened because of Nvidia earnings, right? But see, I'm still down 7%, 8%. I'm not like you know, doing great or something like that. I will say I'm putting $100 every few weeks into this though, theoretically every month, but I can, you know, can play around with it a little bit. It's my money. And basically I'm just trying to buy shares and shares and shares. Personally, I like the shares of stuff like Very, which is, you know, $4.34, Big Bear, which is $6, and OSS, which is 4.75. Everything else is like 80s, 90s. These are going to go through reverse splits here pretty soon in order to get people excited, but they have to have a much larger value. That way, if something bad happens to the market, they're not going to have to come back and do a resplit or something like that, which would be terrible for them. But yeah, I mean, I've been forced to go to other sectors to find money, which kind of sucks. Or not even like other sectors like that, but just like, you know, I've had, instead of doing my long-term investing, I've had to do a lot more of day trading and swing trading. We had talked about this over the last couple weeks, I suppose. Smart money concepts. Remember how I told you bearish, bearish, bearish? So you go over here and you just know everything is bearish right now, right? Everything's bearish. Right. The last one you had was yesterday. Look at that. Woo, boom. Beautiful profit. This one didn't work out right here. I don't know why. I didn't see what was going on with the order blocks and stuff like that. But this one could have failed you. It could have hit your stop loss, which would have been right here or right here. I think most of you would have put it right here. So it would have hit your stop loss for a small loss. But that gain is so big, you're fine. That gain is big, you're fine. That gain is beautiful. That gain is beautiful. And on and on and on and on and on. So it's been that type of market, but are you guys up at 3:15 in the morning? I am. I don't know why. Are you guys up at 4 o'clock in the morning? I don't know. Are you guys up at 6 p.m.? Yeah, some of you guys probably are. Are you guys up at 12:30 in the afternoon? All right, there's an opportunity right there. And right now we're doing okay. Or if you guys are up around 6:15 in the morning right there as well, even though that one didn't work. So, you know, again, and this one right here, it went green, got rejected. Again, the bearish momentum is going to stop you from doing that trade in the first place. But still, you know, we're in this weird phase right now. And you can see the 30-minute charts. They've been bearish for a while too, even the 1-hour ones. Right. And you're starting to see a little bit of green here. Is it enough for me to go, woohoo? No, because it could be that. But at least we're seeing a little bit more, right? So, you know, there's trading opportunities. It's happened like maybe once a day, twice a day. However, if you were to short Bitcoin, who's to say you can't also short Solana or Ethereum while you do it to kind of make a little bit more money right there, right? And it's so, am I winning, son? I mean, I'm making money from this market. Am I happy with my long-term portfolio right now because of all this chaos? No, not really. But am I making money? Oh, hell yeah. It's just, it's just not exciting. It's not happy. It's not fun right now. There's a lot of stress, right? There's a lot of stress. My parents, right? Exactly. It's just gonna be difficult for a little bit. Something we got to deal with. But at least there's some trading opportunities, and that's the fun part. I'm not even really looking at meme coins right now. It's like, ooh, let me go buy this meme coin. Oh, this meme coin looks amazing. Not even touching them. I think for me right now, AI stocks, hold them for a few years. We're going to keep track of them for fun and just for money, right? And we'll kind of keep look at all that stuff. But anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a night. I got to head out and go back to the gym here. My arm's already sore, but you guys can't tell, but I'm losing a little bit of weight, and I'm going to try to stream 2 times tomorrow. Today was a pretty good stream. I appreciate you guys joining me here. I'm starting a new type of video series on top of the tutorials and stuff like that, where I just talk about like random stuff as far as trading or the economy. And it's me not ranting, but kind of just doing a discussion with you guys, like a self-reflecting discussion over why people like that are calm in the markets, they usually make more money, or why the tariff policy is either going to be pro-Bitcoin or anti-Bitcoin, all that type of stuff. Right now, obviously anti-Bitcoin, but you know what I'm talking about. So I'll have some fun with that stuff. Get ready for it. It'll start coming out tomorrow, I believe. I'm going to try to stream the first video later on tonight. I believe I have the script all ready to go. No, I don't actually at the moment. I redid it. It's in ChatGPT somewhere. So see you guys a little bit later. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Satoshi, GT, Mason, Tyler, Jonism, make sure I'm not forgetting anybody, Fitz, Digital K, Andrew, Jane, and Double O Wolf. I will see you guys tomorrow. And guys, let's just hope that the market can keep up with this, because we might do some trading if we're lucky. It's just that, again, these trades only happen like once a day. It makes it so hard to keep track. But maybe I'll just open the trade whenever I see it, and then we'll just have the price moving so we can see the profit in real time. That could be kind of fun too, right? So see you guys a little bit later. Thanks.